I'm gonna play it again. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Enough, enough, enough. Enough, enough, enough. Greetings, greetings, everyone. I just wanted to say hi. And I had this urge to do a little, like a little spontaneous show. Because from my perspective, I'm sorry about all the horrible stuff that's going on down here. See this place? This is our home. This is our home right here, right now. And you see this thing? This is the Terra Lumination Space Headquarters. I've never shown this to anyone before because it's top secret. I have a deal going with Elon Musk and Tesla and the American federal government. And it's linked. This is linked directly to the Situation Room in Washington, D.C. Okay? And so, it's vital. It's absolutely vital, but don't tell anybody, okay? This is top secret, okay? Hello, Starzy, I see you. Hello, Path. And I think I saw Nikki. And then I saw, did I see Love Triber? Did I see Love Triber there? I think I did. There is. I did see Love Triber. Hello. And then there's Ivona. Hello, Ivona. Hello, Basti. Okay. Yeah. I hope I got everybody. Na 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 na. So like when I have, hopefully one day once I get a ton of money and I can record these things properly, I'm gonna make the full song. Because what you just heard there was kind of like a little demo that I played to producers, but ran out of money. But anyway, in the big song, the real one, it's gonna be like like a 7-minute chant. And it can, hello Linda, I see you. And it's gonna go, I am healing, I am healed. I am healing, I am healed. And the next verse is going to be, you are healing, you are healed. You are healing, you are healed. And the final verse, of course, will be, we are healing, we are healed. Okay? And it turns into like this, I want it to be like a dance trance, like a healing song, like with a really good dance beat to it, and the words are really simple, and it just goes round and round and round in these circles, and you kind of put yourself in a trance of self-healing. Okay, that's how it's supposed to work. Hello, Candace. Hello. So anyway, yeah, there's something really beautiful I want to share with everybody. Today is an incredibly special day in the astrology. I don't know if you noticed, but from my perspective, it's just staggeringly beautiful. So let's go back and I'll show you why I feel this way. Hold on. Okay, so look at this. All right, so this is just for now. What now, what now, what now, what now? Just for today. Actually, I should probably put a date on here, shouldn't I? It is, in America, USA, 26th of March, 2020. And this is the astrodoodle for the day. Isn't it beautiful? I know. It's actually, I should put a signature on it. Hold on. Hello, Journey Seeker. Wow, you sound cool. Have you been here before? I have to do the signature. As you know, these astrodoodles are incredibly valuable, and they're not real unless they have an actual Terra Lumination signature, because these usually end up going on like eBay like a year from now for many, many thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. And by the time, my lifetime, my ticking clock is over, these are going to be inside the Guggenheim Gallery, okay? Okay, I'm just letting you know, and they're going to be framed, okay? So I'm going to put the TL thing over here. So this proves, you guys are a witness, this is signed by Terra Lumination. Okay. Anyway, here's the thing. I don't know, like in all the news, well, welcome Journey Seeker. You've come to a really good place to hang out. This is fun, this is what we do. So today, again, this is just sacred geometry. The planets are whizzing around doing what they do. Some of them move very, very, very slowly. Some of them move very, very quickly. And it just so happens with the sacred geometry that we have in the heavens right now, we have 4 planets all very, very tight next to each other right up here. Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Mars. They are so tight they might as well just be one big blob of energy. Okay? Thank you, Path. I'm glad you understand. Laminate it. Yes, yes. Yes, one day. Sadly, I don't really keep them. Maybe I might have a few stashed somewhere. Like if I had a really big studio and I had, when I used to have my staff and I had my 2 crew and they could file this in the digital files, and eventually all this would come out and these would be archived and they would go in the Getty Museum over here in Los Angeles. And, the Tate Gallery over, I think it's in London. But sadly, we haven't got that far. I lost my crew, I lost the staff, and I only have a certain amount of time to be able to do this stuff. So right now, YouTube is probably the only place where you're going to find this, okay? So here we go. Look at this. You see these planets here? All of these are very, very tightly aligned. Saturn's actually in Aquarius, but it's carrying a lot of energy leftovers from the Capricorn. And in terms of the sacred geometry, it is part of this stellium here. And it is in a very, very acute, extremely acute, deep harmony with Uranus in Taurus over here. Ubasti's mom. Okay, so it's a beautiful day for your mom's birthday. So over here, all this amazing, mind-boggling earth power over here is in deep, harmonious alignment with Uranus and Taurus over here. And so, to me, this is saying this is a very, very beautiful day for the earth, on earth, for the people who live here. The moon represents like the mass unconscious in a way, like, it's like the energy of, just people reacting by emotions, not a lot of consciousness, just emotional feelings and reactions. And it's sitting right on top. It's sitting right on top of Uranus. So they're very closely aligned. So we have 6 planets in deep harmony here. Now, on top of that, all of this, which is staggeringly beautiful, is sitting on, supported by this, which is also very beautiful in its own way. We have these big sextiles here. These are quadruple. Actually, I should just put that in, shouldn't I? I should put 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's like quadruple sextiles over here, and double duties over here. Okay? So this is an extremely powerful, very beautiful, very harmonious alignment. So why am I mentioning this, and why did I title this video, what did I title it? Something like Healing the Planet, okay? That's what this is about, okay? This is very much about healing the planet. And I really love to look for validation in the astrology. I like to see it in the heavens, and then matching up with my astrodoodles. It makes me feel really amazing, like I actually know something. So I'm going to highlight this, okay? Okay, over here. And that's what today is all about. Today is all about healing the planet. And I don't know if we will ever see anything like this again in astrology in our lifetimes. I very much doubt I'll ever see it again, anything like this in my lifetime. So I'm hoping that this moment is imprinted on humanity forever, and we don't forget this. And why am I saying that? Well, it's because, let's go over here for a little while. It's because I don't know if any of you have seen these things. I've seen them, and I've had images sent to me. It's all connected with the global news, the complete financial, political, infrastructure meltdown that we're having on planet Earth right now. And it's all totally predictable. As you know, I wrote my little book about it. But there's something also amazingly beautiful about this. This is the flip side, and I think it's very much to do with the fact that Jupiter is sitting right there. Jupiter is the great benefic, the great healer, the great like fixer-upper, the great optimist, the great, like, chin up, everybody. Chin up. Everything's amazing. Everything's always amazing all the time. I'm Jupiter. That's how I live my life, okay? So when I look at that all in alignment, I believe what's happening now is like we are getting a glimpse of what it might look like if we could heal the planet Earth and radically, monumentally crush our production and consumption. Okay? We live across the planet now over the last 120 years, especially the last 70 years. We've been living in what they call a consumer society, where happiness is measured by how much stuff you have, how many houses do you have, how much food can you eat, how many cars do you have, how much money do you have. Very, very strong, heavy Capricorn influence dominated by the United States. The United States has an incredibly powerful Cancer Capricorn characteristic built into its birth. We'll have to do another show on that. But what we're seeing now is the influence of American energy all over the planet. The good about the amazing things about it all, the miracles of printing money, the miracles of global travel, global exchange, fractional reserve banking, airplanes, jets, internets, computers, YouTube, Google, smartphones, all this stuff pretty much came out of America. Because America is just, that's what we do here. It's creative destruction. We just systematically crush and pulverize anything that gets in the way of our evolution. Because we want to grow. We're like a really invasive species. We want to grow. We want to take over. We want to own and have everything and dominate and control this. That's just who we are. That's what America is, okay? But on the images that I've seen, on the videos that I've seen, because we've had such an astronomical shutdown all across Western Europe, now happening all across the United States, and subsequently all across China, what we're seeing is these amazing images of the air clearing up. The planet is able to breathe, okay? They're showing images of nitric oxide over China. It went from this big to this big. They're showing images of nitric oxide on top of Italy, up in the northern areas near Milan. It went from this big to this big. A lot of it is, triggered by the smoke that's put out by all the things that we do. We burn so much fuel, fossil fuel, basically coal and gasoline and oil, okay? And within days, it fills up the sky with, okay, literally. Like, 3 or 4 or 5 months ago when I was here, every day, layers of soot would come into my apartment, and I'm 10,000 miles away from Beijing, but most of that soot comes from the coal-fired power plants in China. Okay. And it blows all the way over the Pacific, and it lands here and across America. It's terrible for my lungs and my breathing. But in the last, I would say, 10 days or so, the air here is really sparkly. The air is like really, really sparkly. The winds are blowing. It's clear. There's no soot. There's no soot. There's no traffic. It's absolutely beautiful. And so I think what's happening is the earth is breathing. The earth is healing. The earth is getting a chance to see what it's like to stop suffocating in its own fumes, its own exhaust fumes, its own carbon dioxide, its own carbon monoxide, its own nitric oxide, all its, all the acid rain and everything. So this is a very beautiful day. This is a day of healing. This is a time of healing. It's a very, very short window, okay? it'll be here for a while in terms of the sacred geometry, but it is peaking right now. It is at an absolute peak, okay? Hey, JGF. So I have given myself permission to go outside once a day on a walk, so I can go to my grocery stores and pick up, essentials. We have tons of food here, most items. Some things are very clear shortages. Obviously, toilet paper is like gold, and things like spray bleach and, wet wipes and all of that, that's like gold. But otherwise, everything's really good. The stores are packed with food here, and they're limiting the numbers of people in the stores to maybe 20, 30, or 50 at a time at the most, and everybody is being asked to stay far away, and they're lining people up in the cashier's aisles, the register aisles. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. It really is a beautiful day here. I'm lucky because it just actually happens to be a beautiful day, and that's what inspired me to double check and do my homework to make sure that what I'm talking about is real, okay? Because I don't want to feed you full of phony BS. This stuff is real. It's totally happening. Some of you might remember. Okay? And by the way, it's still fairly early here, but it's almost to the point where, because of course I'm carrying astronomical amounts of stress like you guys, and a lot of you are back on the East Coast, I decided that I would treat myself to a little happy hour. Okay, I hope you don't mind. This is my way. Now, Candace, there's a lot of certain ingredients in here that in theory you could use for hand sanitizer, but I'm not going to waste this on hand sanitizer. I have tons and tons of Lysol, Clorox wet wipes, and bleach, so I'm good. Yeah. Well, that is so good. So right now, literally, at this very moment in time, I am healing, and I am healed. You guys are healing. You guys are healed. We together are healing. We together are healed. This is a healing moment. Jupiter, when Jupiter is aligned with Pluto, it's an incredibly powerful force, okay? One of the problems is that Jupiter is not very happy in Capricorn. The Capricorn energy is very, very tough. It's repressive. It teaches, it punishes, it restricts, it contains, it creates a sense of pressure. It's like going to a school or a kindergarten or a college, and you're basically forced to do your homework until you get it right, until you know it deep in your heart. And Saturn does not let go until you get it. And if you miss it the first time round on the first Saturn return by the time you're 29 and a half, then believe me, the next Saturn return is going to be even tougher. Okay, so just be aware, all right? So basically, try to live in the positive. Now, of course, this same, let me go back, hold on, let me go back over here. Okay, so this same energy here, a few days ago, we did some astrodoodles about how cataclysmic and destructive this is for the United States, okay? This energy here is basically demolishing the world's economic infrastructures, okay? All of that was totally predictable. I wrote this years ago, okay? All of you know about this already, I'm sure. I wrote it years ago, and everything is coming to be. In fact, watch this. I think I'm going to actually read the last couple pages. There's all sorts of other stuff in here, but I think it might be interesting. what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to read a little storybook. So this will be a little bit like story time, so you can just chat amongst yourselves and listen if you want to. But I'm going to read from here. I'm going to read from here all the way through here and all the way through here to the end. That's all I'm going to do. It'll take a few minutes, but don't worry. Well, we can do this. I need a little bit more room. All right. So, this whole book is my rant basically about what's happening today and why we are here today and why we're facing such a massive global restructuring, massive demolition. Basically, for all the restructuring to happen, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Okay? And that's what's happening right now. There's a complete demolition going on with the global infrastructure. Banking, finance, trade, economics, money, wealth, finance. Humanity is getting pulverized, absolutely crushed, and it's basically a wake up. Uranus here is saying, wake the up, okay? The moon is very fearful about this energy, like, oh my God, what are you saying? What are you saying, Terra Lumination? Wake the fuck up. Okay, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. Over here, this is like brutal, hard, really, really unrelenting, totally unforgiving Capricorn energy grinding and pounding on the planet right now for everyone, everywhere. The good side of it is, of course, what we're seeing today. This is the sweet spot. This is what Earth feels like and looks like when you heal the Earth, when you basically stop like maybe like 80% of global production, supply and demand. Okay? Consumers and the producers, when you shut all that stuff down and you stop burning all the coal, all the factories shut down, the air clears. It clears in a matter of days. It's freaking mind-boggling. Hello, Karen. I see you. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to start reading now. Here we go. So just relax. Pretend we're having... Hello, Nettie. Hello, Nettie. I see you. All right, here we go. I'm just going to read it, okay? So we'll be finished in a few minutes. Chat amongst yourselves. It goes like this. By the way, if you hear any weird sounds in the background, there's a lot of construction going on next door for remodeling somebody's house, okay? Here we go. Basically, Pluto in Capricorn is giving us a chance to clean up our acts, to improve our awareness, to grow ourselves into more mature people, even though the process of new growth and new awareness may be very painful, slow, and messy. Such is life. There are several other primary patterns of planetary movements that are good indicators of financial activity. However, this ebook is mostly concerned with the global patterns over extended time rather than the localized patterns over short periods of time that may be useful in shorter-term financial market trading. Okay? Now, looking ahead to the issue of when the next moment of global financial catastrophe may occur, where the subject of timing is critical to the radical success or failure, it helps to examine astrological patterns again. That's the sacred geometry, okay? That's this stuff. Terra Lumination Astrodoodles. On the broad scale, there is a pattern approaching where the planet Saturn also enters into Capricorn around the very end of 2017, and for a long journey, almost 3 years into 2020. Now, When Pluto and Saturn combine their energies like this, the forces can be multiplied to a much greater degree in the way these energies are perceived and experienced by humanity. Okay? Okay, because Pluto adds massive amounts of power, like ruthless, totally unemotional power. Okay? This energy, as we feel it, is simply energy. It is pure energy with no good or no bad qualities. It's just pure energy. Anything that we may call a negative experience is simply the result of our own lack of awareness or our own lack of ability to handle these energies. Pluto will still be living in Capricorn until very early 2024, after which Pluto will start to move into Aquarius, from which a whole new era of global and personal transformation will begin. It's going to be a radical change, people, in how the world relates to itself and to each other, how human beings relate to each other. Because right now, at this moment in time, we are evolving, we are growing, we are changing, we are adapting, because we have to. We have to. We are under intense, mind-boggling pressure of historical proportions. It's never happened before. I've been tracking lots and lots of ephemeris. I've never seen anything like this anywhere. Ever. Ever. Okay? So this is an extremely unique, monumental time in global planetary history, especially human history. Okay? And we are alive on this planet at this moment. This moment of maximum stress occurs around the time when Pluto and Saturn will be in close alignment in their respective orbits. The buildup in stress will be felt well before this time, and the fallout of the stress will be felt well after this time. The critical time when Pluto and Saturn are in closest alignment will be around January 2020. I don't know if you can see that, okay? I wrote this book years ago, and we are here now, okay? So, please mark your calendars now and begin to pay attention. I'm just letting you know that back in the years ago when I was writing this and I was doing my homework and my research, I realized that we were going to end up in a massive global planetary meltdown. And my personal feeling is to just get out. Just remove myself completely from things like any kind of college loans, debts, credit cards, healthcare payments, mortgages, business loans, all of it. It all had to go. So I deliberately allowed myself to have my life pulverized and crushed to basically what you could call minimalism, where there's nothing left. Everything that I used to enjoy in terms of things like work and career and money coming in, money going out, loans, all that stuff, it's all gone. It's all gone because I decided I need to get back to zero. I need to be personally at ground zero in order to survive this. Okay, so we're talking about January 2020. Okay, that's where we are. And remember, the echoes of what's happening in January 2020 is going to resonate throughout the whole of 2020. Okay, and it's going to leave shock waves for generations to come. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. So at this time, early 2020, the United States will be under immense stress. One way the USA may show visible signs of stress may be as cracks in the US financial markets. One way these US financial markets may show their stress is by cataclysmic failures in the US dollar and the US trading markets. The ripple effects of an imploding US dollar will impact every other currency on the planet, most likely in a very negative and devastating way, without any historical precedent. So again, please mark your calendars and start to prepare. All right, basically all of that stuff is happening right now. Now the beautiful thing is that the United States, over here in the United States, the Federal Reserve and the federal government are the world's #1 experts at printing money. I just call it confetti because it's basically just tokens. And the only reason it has any value is because we as a mass, as a collective, we have decided to believe that currency is money. Okay, anyway, let's not talk about that. That's a very philosophical thing. So anyway, also, please understand that such massive disruptions in the currency markets have a tendency to trigger a parallel degree of disruption inside every human behavior, ranging from big changes in personal priorities regarding money, all the way through to war, traditional war. This is war between countries, war between people, war between nations, where these wars may be expressed as physical war, as in troops against troops, people against people, with bloodshed and pain. And that is the very same fear as was mentioned at the beginning of this book. Okay? Now, my personal feeling is that we're actually in that state of Armageddon right now. We're actually in World War III, and everybody on Earth is now reacting as though we are in a war. And, okay, give me a second. I'm going to finish this in a moment. Hold on. I need to connect with you guys. There is a quote that I found, a direct quote from the American president, okay, Mr. Trump himself, where it said, "We are at war. This is war. And we are fighting the invisible enemy." Okay? So if you go back a few weeks ago when we were at war and I made a video about war, Mars conjunct Pluto, Sun in Pisces. Remember back in the March Pisces energy, Sun conjunct, Sun and Moon and Neptune all there in Pisces, the invisible enemy. There you go. You get it? We are at war with the invisible enemy, and it's not just the United States, it's the whole of planet Earth. The invisible enemy is, guess what? Guess what the invisible enemy is? It's represented as the 12th house in Western astrology, the Neptune energy, the flip side of Neptune energy. It's us. We are our own worst enemies. We have created a massive, I feel like using really filthy words, but we're basically swimming in our own doo-doo. We have created this. We are absolute experts of having created massive amounts of doo-doo. It is our own doo-doo, and now we are swimming in it. Financial, ecological, weather, human behavior, pollution, all of it. All of that is because of human behavior, unevolved human behavior. And so the next thing that's going to happen, because it has to happen or we die, is that we have to evolve, we have to grow, we have to adapt, we have to change, okay, in order to survive. Okay, Pluto energy is ruthless. It doesn't care. It doesn't give a toss about you and your life and your world, your finances, your family, your legacy, your fame, your glory, your money. It doesn't give a toss. Okay, if you're not in alignment, if you're not listening, if you don't understand the lessons, okay, Pluto is the great destroyer, and you just get crushed. You can do it fast or you can do it slow, but you get crushed. When you add Saturn, that's the reality check police putting a very, very firm hand on your shoulder, and if necessary, putting you in handcuffs, okay? Okay. Metaphorically speaking, that is what's happening right now. The whole of the human race, in a metaphoric sense, is being brought to order. We are being crushed and humbled and brought down to our knees in order to face the realities of the decisions that we've been making over the last 150 years. Okay? It's just what's happening right now. Okay, I'm going to go back to the book. Give me a second. Okay, so this is the same war that I mentioned at the very beginning of the book. I believe we are at war right now. I believe the whole of planet is at war. I believe the whole of humanity is at war with itself, and the enemy is invisible. It is the invisible enemy. But when the sun moved into Pisces and it conjoined with Neptune and we had the new moon, the invisible enemy became visible, and that's when the virus just exploded across planet Earth, and now we're dealing with it. The enemy is no longer invisible. The enemy is visible. Also, please understand that it is important not to take these matters too personally or to make judgments on who or what is right or wrong, since these primordial shifts in human activity and behavior can occur mostly at the level of the unconscious, even though we may experience the outcomes at the conscious level. In other words, we are all to blame for the outcomes, both the negative, both the positive, as we are all living on the same planet with the same shared energies, okay? Yes, blame will be allocated. Judgments will be dispensed. Damages will occur. Rewards will be received. But either way, the point is to be aware of these patterns in the first place, okay? I'm telling you, the sacred geometry is real. The astrodoodles are not a joke. This is not some little kiddie's play toy. This stuff is real, okay? Hey, Gabby girl, I see you. Hey, all son. Hey, Candace. Okay. So, blame will be allocated. Humans will blame other humans. Other humans will try to destroy someone rather than let themselves be destroyed by the one that they consider the enemy. It's going to be very, very hard for humanity to deal with this. It's going to be very hard for humanity to evolve, grow, adapt, and change in order to survive. But we have to, or we die. Okay? The point is to be aware of these patterns in the first place and to take personal responsibility for owning and managing this higher level of awareness at the personal level. In other words, each one of us in our own ways has to take responsibility for our part, okay, in this demise, such that we are doing the best that we possibly can to take care of ourselves, to mind our own business, to protect our money, protect our privacy, protect ourselves. Basically, good fences make good neighbors, good behavior, good thoughts, being conscientious, being aware of how we impact each other's lives. This higher level of awareness demands an equally higher level of healthy self-conduct. Neglect of this higher level of awareness is the same thing as dereliction of duty to ourselves and to our loved ones, our friends and families, our communities, and our nations. Okay? We are all responsible as a species. Humanity is like an invasive species. It has taken over planet Earth, and it is now destroying planet Earth, the very home that we live in. It's just like living in an extremely overpopulated town or village or a home where it's so bad, and we're all eating and populating and fornicating and partying and producing and consuming, but we're not cleaning up our doo-doo. We're swimming in our own doo-doo. And we now have to realize that this is a fact on a global scale. Our highest duty to ourselves and each other is to be responsible for ourselves and each other as much as we can. It's a massive pressure from all the Capricorn energy here to mind our own business. Literally, mind your own business. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean just exploit or rip out or control or devastate anyone any way you can just so that you can make money. It means being aware that there is so much more to being responsible than just loading yourself up with money, cars, houses, so-called wealth, all these things that we prize very highly because we believe they're very valuable. So what's going to be happening is the world is going to eventually have to realize that your wealth is in your health, okay? You have to understand that, okay? I'll just finish it off. Please note, these comments on timing are simply the opinions of the author, Tarot Lumination, and it should not be taken as a gospel truth from a certified financial advisor or an astrologer or a tarot reader. Basically, as in the rest of life, it is caveat emptor, okay? Okay, caveat emptor, that's a Latin for basically says, okay, you listen to all the opinions that you want, but beware, okay? Do your own homework, make your own decisions, and take responsibility for your decisions and the outcomes of your decisions and your behavior. It's your money, it's your privacy, it's yourself. It's up to the reader to make their own provisions for their own protection and their own good fortune, okay? So the question is, priorities. What is valuable to you now, okay? Is it your health? Is it your family? Is it your loved ones? Or is it just simply how much you can get, okay? All right, so I just wanted to read that. That's just a couple of pages out of the book. I'll put that over here. So, you know, kind of in a nice way, it's very, very beautiful. What's happening right now on planet Earth, it's a very, very beautiful thing. We're getting the creative destruction. We're getting all the demolition and the implosions and the devastation that's happening with families in their health, their finances, their jobs, their careers, their towns, their cultures, their whole countries. Some places are going to be absolutely devastated. And at the same time, there is this whole beautiful thing here. This is what it looks like when you admit that we are, the cause of our own demise. And this is what it looks like when we take responsibility and we deliberately choose to clean it up. I'm not telling everybody how that's going to happen. How on earth are we going to reduce our consumption? How are we going to reduce our production of stuff? How are we going to take these fundamental issues of humanity, of supply and demand, how are we going to take that from here to here so that we can have a healthy planet? There is only one answer from my perspective, and it's a very ugly answer that nobody likes to talk about, but it's basically depopulation. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, okay? So let me check in with you guys over here. Okay, so I've had my rant. Hold on, let me just check something. Cheers, this is very, very important. We have a very loving relationship. So I'm just going to check on the chat because I think we're pretty much done here. I didn't want to stay for hours and hours and hours because what I'm hoping for, okay, I just want to put out, okay, so it's like Thursday evening over here. It's very late Thursday night for some of you. It's already Friday for some of you. So I hope this was more than just a, thank you, Path. That's not a rant, it's information. Got it. Oh, okay. Information. Cool. Thank you. I am healing. I am healed. You are healing. You are healed. We are healing. We are healed. Okay, I'm basically done. I think I just wanted to get it on record. I just wanted to put it out there. I wish there was a way for more people to see this stuff so they really fully understand what's going on. And if anybody knows how to grow a channel or run websites and make them really big, please help. Or if you can get me hooked up with somebody really famous who has a like huge audience, and then they just link in with Terra Lumination, and all of a sudden Terra Lumination becomes a pop star. That would help too. I'm not scared. I can do this stuff. I would love to be rich and famous, from pop songs. I would like to have hit records, Okay. Oops, gotta go. Stay there. So, okay, let's gotta go. Give me a second, people. We've got a bit of a glitch happening here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, you gotta go. Okay, sorry. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry you have to go. I'm gonna do what I can. Okay? Sorry about this. Yep. There we go. Sorry, there's a little bit of a interference there. Okay, sorry. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. I don't like doing things like that, but now and again, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, there you go. It's my own fault. I left the gate open. Have you heard that expression? Good fences make good neighbors. I left the gate open. Duh. I'm inviting interference. So that was a very powerful learning experience. Protect your money. Protect your privacy. Protect yourself. Good fences make good neighbors, okay? It's a personal opinion, and I live by that. Okay? Because I've learned the hard way what happens when you have sloppy fences. Okay? I'm talking about psychic fences, physical fences, emotional, financial fences, all of that stuff. If you have weaknesses or flaws in your fences, you will suffer. Good fences make good neighbors. If your neighbors are not maintaining good fences, take care of it anyway. Make sure that your fences are good, okay? So I just wanted to add that little thing. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to play the song again, just for the hell of it, so we can all dance out together. So if any of you are like hanging out there, like in your yoga gear, and you're all set up to do digital online yoga, that's fine. And then you can dance and jump around and do all that stuff. There's going to be a whole global boom in online yoga. It's going to happen. Okay. So I'm going to play the song again. I hope you don't mind. It goes like this. Wow, we did it. I got to play it twice because I've been trying to play it so many times on shows recently, but I couldn't find the file. Finally today I found the file. Whew. So I'm going to switch over here. Give me a second. Sounds sort of like this.